I don't usually make videos like this. In fact, I haven't made any similar to this, but recently I've seen many discussions about the Teletubbies and Slendytubbies universe, especially in relation to the AU I'm working on. Two of the most debated topics are the relationship between the Guardian and the Teletubbies, as well as the age of these characters. To avoid misunderstandings and unnecessary divisions between correct and incorrect opinions, I want to clarify my point of view. What is an AU? An alternate universe. AU is a different version of the original story or reality that we know. It's based on the idea of what if things were different, and allows creators to modify characters, settings, events, or even the genre of a story. In my case, my AU doesn't strictly follow the original narrative of the Teletubbies or Slendytubbies. However, many aspects of the original material will be used and referenced within this version. What is the age of the Teletubbies and Slendytubbies? In the original Teletubbies series, the exact age of the characters was never officially established. However, there are several references that allow them to be interpreted as underage, especially considering that they were created for a young audience. The Teletubbies were described by the creators of the series and the BBC as childlike characters, designed to connect with an audience of 2 to 4 years old. Their behavior, such as using babbling and simple words like "uh-oh" or "hello," reinforces this idea. According to Andrew Davenport, one of the creators, the Teletubbies' behavior is inspired by astronauts who, after returning from the space, walked clumsily, much like a baby. Davenport also explained that the vocabulary of the Teletubbies reflects the first words that a young child pronounces, such as a greeting.
As soon as the lander door opened and spaceman, the astronauts, climbed out, they just sort of bounced about and ran about like toddlers, and they looked indeed like toddlers because the spacesuits gave them those sort of proportions. The speech and the words that they spoke were based on the emerging speech of a young child, the first words that they tend to say. The famous one was "eh-oh," I suppose, is a reflection of the fact that they're just beginning at that age to become interested in the social idea of marking coming and going with saying hello and waving. How many people can watch a program that is so specifically designed for 2-year-olds about characters, lovely fluffy characters running around outside playing, like a toddler, and only see sort of hidden sexual messages?
As for the 2015 reboot, Wild Brain made significant changes in the representation of the Teletubbies, and while some present them as adults in a related COVID-19 vaccination campaign, that information is not part of the original canon. The Slendytubbies universe, created by ZeoWorks, has many inconsistencies and gaps in its story, leaving various aspects, including the character's age, open to interpretation. Despite the lack of official details, in my AU, I choose to base it on the original concept of the Teletubbies as childlike characters. Since Slendytubbies is a horror version inspired by that series, I consider that the age of the Slendytubbies in my AU follows the same logic as the original characters, underage, but with a darker approach. In my AU, the relationship between the Guardian and the 4 main Teletubbies is parental in nature, similar to that of a father with his children. I don't feel the need to justify this interpretation further than the fact that it's part of my story's construction, as it deviates from the original version, but still respects the tone of care and protection from the series. The Teletubbies and Slendytubbies do not have a defined age or specific relationship in their original materials, which allows for various interpretations. In my AU, I've chosen to represent them as underage characters due to their behavior, design, and the target audience of the original series. As for the Slendytubbies, my interpretation also follows the logic of the original saga, considering their connection to horror and the darker nature of the characters, but always maintaining a link to the childlike essence of the Teletubbies. It's important to remember that an AU is a reinterpretation of a story, which allows flexibility in how certain aspects are presented. Each creator has the freedom to develop their own vision, always respecting the different interpretations that may exist. There's no need to impose a single, correct version of the characters, as this limits creativity and the diversity of ideas. In the end, as Vasselman said about Tinky Winky, he's just a character in a children's series. I think that we should just let the Teletubbies go and play in Teletubbyland and not try to define them.